Gym number 4, and this one is going to be particularly easy as far as my Gengar is concerned, because almost every grass type in the game is weak to Psychic because they're poison as well. That includes the Oddish line, the Bellsprout line, and the Bulbasaur line. The only Pokemon that might give me trouble would be Tangela, which is still neutral to Psychic, so it shouldn't be that much of a problem, especially since it is so pitifully weak. And there's Execute, and I don't think there's any Executors in there, but Execute can be somewhat of a problem because they resist absolutely every attack I can throw at them, except for Venusaur's Body Slam. And Venusaur's weak to Psychic itself, and Execute might have Psychic moves, so I gotta be very careful around these. And one note about Erica herself, in this game she's got a Victory Bell, a Tangela, and a Vileplume. But in yellow, she de-evolved her Vileplume and Victory Bell into a Gloom and Weeping Bell, but the levels are a lot higher. Now, I have no clue what they were trying to accomplish by doing this, but yeah, I'd still think the red and blue lineup would be harder, since the stat increase is pretty important when it comes to, for example, Weeping Bell versus Victory Bell. You're not allowed in here? Well then, how am I supposed to get the badge in order to get to the Pokemon League? You want to tell me that? If I'm not allowed in here, then no one's allowed into the Pokemon League either. But, as I was gonna say, a level 29 Victory Bell sounds to me more threatening than a level 32 Weeping Bell. Though, however, the Tangela increased 6 whole levels. So yeah, it sort of balances out the difficulty a little, especially since Tangela is not as vulnerable to such move as Psychic as the other grass types, once again, except for the Execute line. But that's neither here nor there. Now, a few videos ago, I mentioned a mystery electric type, and as it turns out, it's yet another letdown. It's a Pichu with strange-looking ears. It's not a new Pokemon, it's really just a weird-looking Pichu. Now, this is the third bait and switch we've had regarding Generation 5 Pokemon. And, of course, all three were actually fan-created. There was never anything that officially hinted at Generation 5 Pokemon, but still, it is the third time that the community went into a frenzy regarding a possible Generation 5 Pokemon being revealed. First time was back in April, and it's because there was a line of toys that was unveiled in relation to movie 11, and there was a placeholder for a toy that represented a Pokemon that hadn't been revealed to the general public yet. And, of course, everyone went into a frenzy. Is that a brand new Pokemon? Well, as it turns out, no. It was Shaman Sky form, which was officially revealed the following month. The second so-called bait and switch occurred last August, back when there was a leak of the leaflet that was going to be distributed with Pokemon Platinum, and it had the silhouettes of what we now know are the new Rotom forms. But back then, there was a lot of speculation as to whether those were actually Generation 5 Pokemon that would have cameos in the game or something like that. Well, as it turns out, it was the Rotom forms. Though a lot of people picked up on it a few days after the leaflet was leaked, and it's because of one of the forms that it was particularly obvious that it was either a Rotom evolution or an alternate form, and I think it was the Frost form. I'm not sure on that, but a lot of people picked up on that and guessed that the rest were also Rotom forms, which turned out to be true. Now I'm going to fly to the Pokemon Center since it's just faster, I guess I could use Alakazam for the remainder of the gym, but the thing is that I want to level up Gengar because it needs the levels a lot more than Alakazam does at this point. So now, of course, I'm going to have to head back to the gym manually via bicycle. But anyway, the third occurrence was, of course, this week when, well, we had the whole Pichu with weird ears things. You could say we were Pichu rolled in a way. And also in the news, Mystery Dungeon 3 to be announced next month. Mystery Dungeon 3 already? The second one just came out! Now, I'm going to try and read a little bit into this, if you don't mind. It could mean a few things. One thing could be that we're gonna have a second Mystery Dungeon game, because Generation 5 is actually really far away. Like, they want to do it on the next handheld console, and the DS's lifespan, as far as I'm concerned, is very, very far from over. So that would mean no 5th generation for a good while. Or it could be a lot closer than we think, and we're gonna have a few cameos of 5th generation in the final product like we had with Munchlax in Mystery Dungeon 1. Either that or neither are related. They simply got enough new material to make a new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, which surprises me because, as I just said, the second one didn't come out that long ago, and one thing to remember is that Mystery Dungeon 2 fixed just about everything that was broken with the game. Everything! So, I honestly have no clue how they could do better. Well, of course they're gonna include the Rotom forms, Origin Giratina, Sky Shaman, they're all gonna be there. And of course the land form, which wasn't there in the second game either, and maybe even Arceus. So yeah, unless they completely remake the foundations of the game, which wouldn't be a very good idea because, as I said, they fixed all the balance issues that were present in the first game. Now, just about every Pokemon is actually viable in Mystery Dungeon 2. Of course, the legendaries are a little bit better, but compare that to Mystery Dungeon 1, where they were worthless for the most part, well, that only makes sense that they'd be a little bit better. And as for the moves, well, the multi-hit moves were severely nerfed in terms of accuracy, and they're still among the best killing moves in the game. So, yeah, I don't have any idea where they can go with this unless they improve the graphics so that the sprites are of much better quality or something, since, let's not hide it, the sprites are still Game Boy Advance level. But we may have some answers next month, so join me next time as I finish off the gym and fight Erica.